Yeah. I'm actually curious how... I wish this... Does it actually show more if I make it bigger? Oh, it does! Oh, I got a like! First like. Nope. I got a few likes. Oh, those old likes were from on videos I privated. I started fresh at one point. In fact, I suspect one of those likes is a friend of the show. But I got my first, like, actual like on a video. Oh, so the cold sore's coming along. Almost gone. It's at the point where it's just scabbed over and they'll just need... Scabs will just fall off on their own. Cold sore itself is gone. Which is nice. It means I don't have to worry about it being contagious. Basically means I can do things like rub gunk out of the corners of my mouth without having to wash my hands afterwards. Okay, let's get going. Oh, what's that? Right in the same spot. There we go. So, I have to do a little bit of stuff before I can start going. Oh, the Leshy Familiar. I just realized I need a token for that. Let me open up my token junk. Here. Art share. Honestly, downloading like a Google Drive thing might make stuff like this easier. Tokens. So I did do a leaf, so that should probably be the familiar. That would mean I need something else for a druid. So let's do a tree. Now, pine tree or evergreen tree? Not Phil. Did I say pine or evergreen? Pine or evergreen. I meant evergreen or deciduous. And 4, 3. Okay, let's even this out a bit then. No. Forgot about this way of making leaves look like a thing in pixel art. Makes it look like you can see the actual leaves. Or fruits or something. That's a way to do it. There we go. Better. I can call that good. Kind of looks like a brain, but it also looks like a tree. It's clearly a tree. Actually, I think I know how to make this look a little bit better. Just to bring the leaves down just a bit. Not too much. Still brainy, but I'll call it good. I think I did blue and goldenrod. I did gold and green. Save. Now export. Three. Okay, I should have them all now. I did export them to be bigger, right? Hold on, let me double check this. The default export is 400%. Yeah. Okay. So the Swashbuckler was the Minotaur. Probably could have done a better color, but yeah. always do green as AC. And blue as... Now, this should stay because they're linked. Yeah. Now, I did forget to do you. However, are you the kind that does? Yes, it does. NPC... Unless they keep HP the same. There's actually a better way to find out. NPC hit points. Yeah. So it means there's probably NPC... It's NPC HP. Or NPC AC. Oh, NPC armor class. There it is. What? Oh. Whoops. Why? Because obviously there's also... No, it doesn't show hit points max. Yeah, so it should work. Interesting. Oh, I know why this is. Because normally with NPCs, you'd want to be able to adjust one without having to adjust them all. So by default, it adds them in with a stat not linked to the sheet. That's what's going on. Yeah. New. Edit. New selected token. There we go. That way I know it took effect. Otherwise, it's you don't see anything. Edit. Just want to make sure it does. Okay. Adding 2 drops it twice. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, I know. Why are you still there? Whatever. Oh, I love this. Hopefully refreshing doesn't require me to, like, sign back in. No, okay. Oh, I don't have all my... I think I do have... The... something. I don't remember. I lost my train of thought. This is the champion. Oh, I forgot to... Oh. Apparently I just forgot to do everything. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice button. That used to not be there. Gonna be completely honest. Wish you could do little functions in those little boxes. I would love to do one where it's like total spells for sorcerers and other stuff. Basically just how many spells you have remaining. Can you thank you. You couldn't see it, but it was basically... last but not least, the druid. Hiccups. Man, that sorcerer has terrible HP. I like little kobold face. That's actually a really good little kobold face. I love it. I know I just started, but I really need to go to the bathroom, so I will be back. At least the Vod people don't have to deal with it. Hopefully this doesn't take more than 5 minutes. I'm only going to set a 5-minute timer. Okay. Well, that was definitely longer than 5 minutes. I also realized that I did not eat lunch before starting. In fact, I actually should go get something to eat so I can take some meds. I'll actually be right back again. I should name these guys. Let's name these guys. Sandra Hardhoof. Does that automatically update? Nope. Well, that finally opened. Fort Knobtooth. That's a goblin name. Actually, even better, Nort Knobtooth. Nort Knobtooth. I really should do. I actually have a goblin. No, brain, bad. I kind of forgot the context of word I almost used. Well, it's fine. Like, I almost named him, Spunky Spellhorn was my thought, because he's Spellhorn Kobold. And then I remembered, Spunky's not a good word in other countries, so probably shouldn't use that one. It's not like a bad word, but it's just not appropriate. So let's go with Slink. Sly spell. Slink. Let's go with, for the knoll, Grouse, Grandio. Grouse. And last, the familiar. Spud. Okay. Now let's do the adventuring pack stuff that I didn't do for half of them. Also, actually realized I also need to update their equipment to be enchanted. In most cases. So we should go to inventory for all of these. So they're at the point where they get, because I know I did the champions, right? +1 striking. Really? I guess you get +1 at level 2 and striking level 4 then. I thought it was... Yeah, that actually sounds about right. Let me double check that. Gem core. Treasure. Dragons power. No, armor and armaments. Runes. No, yes. No. Yeah. Yeah, so +1 to +1 striking is at level 4. Meaning... Oh, I see. Weapon runes. Here we are. Ah, yeah, potency is 2+. Okay. Should probably update the price, honestly. Do weapons have, like, hardness and stuff? Because I'm not sure how much sundering comes into play in this. I mean, armor does, clearly. Yeah, but you have to actually attack armor to try and destroy it. You have to actually attack weapons to try and destroy them. Which basically has the same AC as the person, but does no damage to the person, only the object, and they have to overcome the hardness. So it's generally not worth it. Shields have that action automatically happen. Group, reload, trait. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it here. Ugh. Some armor, shields, and weapons are instead made of precious materials. Oh, I see. Cloth, leather, metal, and wood is listed under the wooden shield. So you actually have all the materials if you need it. The shield is 5 and 20. Same with the tower shield. That metal? No, it's 9 and 36. Interesting. Well, I know there's a thing for materials in the GM core. Honestly, I'm just curious about this. Ah, here we are. Alright, it's hardness, hit points, broken threshold, and examples items for some types of common. Stone is a catch-all for any hard stone, such as granite, marble. Likewise, wood covers ordinary wood, such as open pine. Metal weapons and armor are assumed to be made of iron or steel, unless noted otherwise. Yep, those are the numbers I think they used for them. Object consists of more than one material. The GM typically stick with the strongest material involved. For instance, breaking a wall made of paper. Panels over a woven wooden framework would require damaging the wood, not the paper. However, the MG might choose a weaker material based on the item's function. For instance, breaking a wooden handle of a hammer rather than its iron head would still render the item unusable. Sometimes an item is even less sturdy than the hardness. Hit points provided with an object. For instance, a twig doesn't take 9 damage to break, even though it's made of thin wood. Similarly, a particularly sturdy item or structure might have even higher hardness or hit points. Certain structures, particularly thick walls, are reinforced so that you have to break them down over time with tools. I think there's more information on walls. I see, yeah. Wood versus wooden structure. You've got iron and steel, which is what the other thing does, but thin iron or steel is the steel shield. Which is about half rounded up. Okay. So I'd argue that you basically double the values for the most part. Or actually, what you should do is have the highest value and then have them. So like a thick iron wall versus like, yeah, so it's basically just, hardness is basically based on thickness. If you think of a wall, I'm actually curious how walls work. I said page 93. Interesting. So the iron wall is the 18. The iron door. So iron is 1872. Is that what it was down here? Yep. See, I could get behind like them actually like listing like a thickness, like, but I don't think it's a 5-foot thick wall. I think this is for probably like a standard like 1-foot thick wall, if that. Yeah, so it's half rounded up. In a weird way, but I get it. It has more to do with the half of the hardness. So for example, oh, HP is always 4 times hardness. Yep. Okay, that's actually pretty straightforward. So all you have to remember is the hardness value, and then remember that it's 4 times. And then obviously broken thrustable is half the HP. So yeah, it's half the HP rounded up. So like iron 9 to 5. Cool. Okay, well, the more you know. I'd probably considered weapons like thin wood or thin of their type. Same as a shield. Yeah. So the equipment is just, or the armor is just +1 at this point. You don't have a shield. Why do you say custom? Oh, sorry, no, this is finesse, so dex. Striking, so it's 2d8. Strength. I think it's always plus strength. I like finesse weapons go plus dex. I think damage is always plus strength. Well, let me look it up. Probably tell me there. Damage section. Damage rolls. Plus strength modifier, plus bonuses, plus penalties. Yeah. And I think finesse is just 2 attacks. Which I'm fine with, honestly. I've always been kind of down with the way... I kind of dislike that you're a dex to damage for melee attacks with finesse in 5e. I think that is something that's worth, like, differentiating, just to give strength more damage, but dex more, like, the ability to still consistently hit with dex. Finesse. Use extra minor instead of strength modifier for on attack rolls using this melee weapon. You still calculate damage using strength. Yep. Okay. Is there a feat for that? Probably on... It's probably a Swashbuckler feat, if anything. Like a Swashbuckler and Rogue feat, rather than... Yeah, that's why you deal a little bit bonus damage. It actually gives more of a reason to give strength to this character. I might actually switch and give her even more strength. Wait. I picked Swashbuckler feats, right? No, I did not. Okay, well, one more thing I have to do. Oh, did the weapon I pick up have disarm? Let me look real fast. I'm not gonna switch. I don't need to. It does, so I can disarm with it. That might be worthwhile. You've learned a flexible way to position your buckler to provide more protection. When you use a raid shield and disarms SCC from a buckler, increase the bonus from +1 +2. So basically get the full thing from the full bonus from buckler. If buckler raised, if a creature critically misses with a strike, you gain panache until the end of your next turn. Nice. But I'm not going to use a buckler. I'm a two-handed. I'm a weirdly two-handed swashbuckler. Wielding one or more one-handed weapons. No. Fleshy dodge. You can see targets. A creature you can see targets you with an attack. Plus your bonus to AC until against the triggering attack. If the strike misses, you gain panache to the end of your next turn. Requires precise strike. What was that? Was that a... No. Or is that a general feat? That might be a general feat. Oh wait, or it's lower. No. What is Precise Strike? I kind of assume it's a feat. General feat. No. No, not here at least. Precise Strike. Unless... it's a class feature. Oh, okay. I know why this is like it is. It's for multi-classing purposes. Like a multi-classer can't pick this. Got it. Because I'm like, what's the point if you don't? But there are ways to get these feats without it. You apply flash techniques to thrown weapons to easily as melee attacks. Use precise strike damage on range strikes you make with thrown weapons within that weapon's first range increment. This might be worth picking up in order to get some ranged on the Swashbuckler. Do a fascinating performance. When you use your fascinating performance in combat encounter, you need only a success rather than a critical success to fascinate your target. This works only if you're attempting to fascinate one target. For example, if you're an expert in performance, you can choose to target multiple creatures normally, or target one creature and fascinate it on a success. Focus fascination is honestly needed. That actually now adds value. Oh. Sorry. Okay, so we've got one. Honestly, I'm tempted to do Disarming Flare. Although, how does Disarm work? I need to look this up. Assuming it's an athletic check, will athletics check. Disarm. You have at least one hand free. Target can't be more than one size larger than you. Track an amount of the creature's grasp. Attempt an athletics check against the target's reflex DC. If you knock them out of the target's grasp, it falls to the ground in the target's space. You weaken the target's grasp on the item. For attempts to disarm the target, gain +2 circumstance to the target, and take a -2 circumstance penalty to attacks with that item or other checks requiring a firm grasp on the item. The creature can end the effect by interacting to change the grip of the item, otherwise it lasts as long as the creature holds the item. Use your balance to become off guard until the start of your next turn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make a change to this character. What? Wrong character. And I have to get rid of a training and a skill. Honestly, thievery. There's too much to do. Trip. We train athletics to try and disarm. That's the only one you have to be trained to do. Anyway. Back to here. So Flying Blade is also interesting. Make an attack without letting your guard down. Make a melee strike. Following failure effect. Use step as a free action. You're about to roll initiative. You allow your foes to make the first move in a show of incredible confidence. You don't roll initiative, instead you voluntarily go last. You gain panache. More than one character uses this ability or another ability to go last. Use the normal rules for resolving a tie. NPCs and monsters act before PCs, and within those groups, the creatures choose whichever order they want. Your taunts and threats earn your foe's ire. When you successfully demoralize a creature, it is frightened. Condition can't decrease to less than 1 until the end of its turn. Until it either uses a hostile action against you, or can no longer observe or sense your foe at least one round. You draw an attack with the same motion. You interact to draw a weapon, then either strike or use a one-action finisher. You must still meet other requirements to use a finisher. And any strike you make must be made with the weapon you draw. You attempt a saving throw, but you haven't rolled yet. Danger calls, you have a strange knack for coming out on top. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to triggering save. If you succeed on the triggering saving throw, you gain panache until the end of your next turn. Enjoy the show. You address ally on their in combat. Combat, flaunting to your foes how little attention they require. When you perform, you can choose a single creature within 30 feet and use the following success, critical success, and critical failure effect instead of the normal results. If you do, perform gains the Vod of trait, as well as the auditory and linguistic trait as normal for orientation or oration. The target takes a -2 circumstance penalty to attack rolls against creatures other than you till the end of its next turn. There's -1 circumstance penalty to attack rolls against creatures. I'm not making this as a defender. I'm definitely making this as a striker. So I don't really want these ones that draw attention. Finishing a foe maintains your swagger. You gain panache whenever your finisher brings the target to 0 HP. It's not a bad one. Retreating finisher. Yeah, that one is pretty good. When you tumble through... the foe you tumble through is off guard against the next attack you make before the end of your turn. That's pretty good, because that opens them up. Does off guard prevent you from making reactions? I'm curious about this. Monster imposes AC, some effects keep off guard conditioning attacks, others with special conditions can make off guard against everything. Also, specify condition only applies to certain circumstances, it applies to all of them. Okay, so it doesn't prevent reactions, so it could still... So it doesn't give you the ability to, like, tumble through, make them off guard, and run away. Unfortunate. But fair. You attack flash your soul, that leaves your target off balance, make a melee strike. You hit and deal damage, the target is off guard until the end of your next turn. Balancing finisher is pretty good. As a finisher, that also makes them off guard until the end of your next turn, so that means you can chain this potentially, which is actually very good. Technique, throwing weapons. And then I didn't look at these. It requires a feint, which I'm like, meh. Press the word for encouragement. You bolster allies' efforts. Designate an ally with an action. Cancel sufficient preparation to aid an ally. Oh. When you use the aid reaction to help the ally, you can roll diplomacy and place the official check. It's actually pretty good. But this is a striker. So they're the one who needs to get the attack buffs. Landing roll, and fall, at least 10 feet, take no damage from the fall. Check and roll with motion. You land on your feet and stride up to half your speed. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually very good. Your next pairs very well with finishing the follow-through. There's some good combos here, actually. Like, I see a few good combos, and I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to go with. I like the idea of... What does Fascinated do? Ugh, allergy season. It's starting to heat up again, so my allergies are going to get worse. Fascinated. You can help to focus your attention on something distracting you from whatever else is going on. Minus you stand penalty to perception and skill checks. You can't use concentrate actions unless they, or their intended consequence, are related to the subject of your fascination, as determined by the GM. For instance, you might be able to seek and recall knowledge about the subject, but you likely couldn't cast a spell targeting a different creature. This condition ends if a creature uses a hostile action against you or any of your allies. Oh, it's actually not that great. Yeah, I actually might want to switch which one I use, because this one is meh. The main reason being, this is, I mean, I was just talking about how I didn't want this character to be a tank. I want it to be a striker. So this one actually doesn't really work very well. I might need to switch. I'll still probably have them be trained in performance. But I might need to change... maybe gymnast. Yeah, I should do gymnast. Train athletics when you grapple or position, shove, or trip. The action gives the bravado trait. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to gymnast. Let me just come over here and do this. I haven't even used this yet. I love it when I realize I completely forgot to do a thing. And then in doing that, I actually look into more... No. Swashbuckler class, not the Swashbuckler trait. Oh, this is good, actually. Because friendly nudge is a shove. So I can shove an ally without a free hand. And I'm going to do this. And now I have to, or want to, set a performance to athletics. But also keep performance. I'll still keep the perform action. But I won't have the fascination thing anymore. Also, I want to pick it up. Still. No, I won't pick. Fascinating performance isn't worth it. Also keep the perform action, but... I'm curious. The trip trait, which is a weapon. Pete's... I'm guessing I can't, like, no. Annoying. Oh, this doesn't affect disarm. Guessing disarm is probably Rascal. No. Do I not get a feat? Oh, I don't get a feat. But I get a lot more actions, like in the Bravado trait, so that's probably why. And we're going to get rid of Focus Fascination. Okay, let's go back to here. Are there weapons that have the trip trait? Weapons. No. Is it not a bola? Bola. Oh, ranged trip. Apparently that's different than trip. Trip. Skill takes a -2 circumstance penalty. You can add the weapons bonus. Yeah. Alright. I need to go to the bathroom again. For whatever reason, my bladder is really wanting to... oops, wrong one. There. So, but this one should be faster because it's just pee. Unlike last time. I'll be right back. Why did my timer break? That's weird. I mean, if I hit stop, it goes away, but I definitely didn't hit stop. Whatever. Over here. Yeah, so, like, I can get a bola with range trip, but it's not really worth it. Also, that's not technically... well, you know, you can use the trip action with it. That's the idea. Yeah, it can be used to trip. I think I get the bravado trait anyway when I attack with... Okay, so it only allows for... we're spending a feat on this. Plummeting roll is good, but I don't think I'm going to take it. See, brandishing draw can go really well with certain thrown weapons, because there are some thrown weapons which require an interact action to draw. And I think the bola might be one of them. Oh no. Reload nil means you can draw and throw it in the same turn. Let me double check that though. Maybe 0 if drawing, ammunition, firing, or throwing the weapon are part of the same action. The item takes 2 or more actions to reload. I'm with entry must be drawn to be thrown, which usually takes an interact action. Okay. So bola could be drawn then thrown with this. Although bolas don't do damage, right? Let me double check that. It's a weapon without damage. No, melee ranged. Oh no, they do damage. It's non-lethal though. That's what it is. It's an interesting idea. I have a startup with you throw, trip, gain panache. What is the non-lethal? What does non-lethal do? Non-lethal attacks with this weapon are non-lethal and are used to knock creatures unconscious instead of kill them. You can use non-lethal weapons to make lethal attacks with a -2 penalty. Well, let's go to page 407. Curious enough. You can make a non-lethal attack. Someone not killing them. Weapons with the non-lethal trait, including fists, do this automatically. You take -2 to change your attack rolls. When you make a non-lethal attack using a weapon or arm attack that doesn't have the non-lethal trait. Most make a lethal attack with a non-lethal weapon. Spells and other effects with non-lethal trait that reduce a creature to 0 hit points. Knock the creature out instead of killing them. Oh, so it just has to be so the non-lethal just has to be the last attack. So that's very 5e of them. Two-E came out after 5e, I'm pretty sure. There's definitely some points of similarity, but not like a ton. Honestly, I feel like 5.5 took more from Pathfinder 2e than Pathfinder 2e took from 5e. But game design is also kind of like that. Also, these are negligible weight, meaning I can carry... Actually, how does weight work again? Bulk. Bulk of creatures, okay. Carry amount of bulk. Bulk values. Negligible bulk. For instance, full plate armor is 4 bulk, and longsword is 1 bulk. Blah, blah, blah. Items of negligible bulk don't count towards bulk unless you try to carry vast numbers of them as determined by the GM. This is a fun idea that I really now want to play. If Cantus runs a 2e game, I am playing this Minotaur. This is a fun character. Okay, so what was I gonna go for? So, brandishing draw. Trip does count towards an attack, so it would count towards the attack penalties. Oh wait, but the thrown weapon would need to be... Hold on, I need to check. It still needs to be agile or... Which it is not. Are there even agile thrown weapons? Yeah, I guess darts and javelins. Oh, no, not javelins, sorry. Right, it still needs to be agile thrown for this to work. Or it must be agile or finesse. Okay, never mind. This idea was fun. I can still do it with daggers, but I liked the idea of... Well, no. This is fine, because the trip is to gain bravado. So I can have daggers and bolas, which would both be negligible weight. Or darts. I mean, they're kind of trash, though. I mean, I could do no, shuriken are also trash. Let me look over here. Probably not worth putting this much effort into this. Where's Spell's treasure? Oh, treasure trove. Treasure trove. Is not thrown. Okay, now I'm curious about this. Equipment, weapons, traits, agile, or finesse. Right? Yeah. And weapon group. Oh wait, no. Or is that a trait? Is thrown a trait? Thrown might be a trait. Let's go agile because they're normally agile. Okay, thrown is not necessary. Hold on, let me double check. Oh, thrown is something put on... It's also put on ranged weapons. They're all pretty weak. I mean, I could look at melee... Oh, that's a good point. I could look at melee weapons. Like, a throwing hammer is... thrown. Yeah, that's actually the best one. And it just requires... You're functioning to throw a weapon easily as a melee attack. Damage on range strikes you make with a thrown weapon. That means I could do up here. Light hammer, agile thrown. Got it. So that's probably where I want to do bolas and hammers. With that being said, I am curious about I mean, I prefer finesse, though. Actually, I just realized. Let me come back over to here. Instead of agile, finesse. Anything with a d6? Combat lure, which is treasure vault. It's an uncommon. Agile, finesse, slashing. What's this? I forget what these mean. Limited option for inside play, but not unheard of. But also can be selected only if specifically allowed by a boon, whether from achievement point system, a chronicle sheet, or another option from a Pathfinder Society source, even if the option is common or if the character meets the normal prerequisites or access requirements printed in the options source. Well, be fine for what I've got going. Tethered. Hold on. I have all these open, and I do have the treasure vault. Weapons. What was that, like, tangled or something? Tethered. When it's attached to like the rope or chain that allows you to retrieve it after it's left your hand. If you have a free hand while wielding this weapon, use an interaction action to pull the weapon back into your grasp after you have thrown it as a ranged attack, or after it has been disarmed. That's being held by another creature. And what was the one I was looking at? Combat lure. It's a type of flail. It is two-handed. Is it advanced? No. There's a chainsword. Is this supposed to be like the thing that Ivy has in Soul Calibur? I'm actually curious what it says about a chainsword. This weapon has a hilt like a longsword, attached to several blade segments connected by chain links. A highly technical weapon, the chainsword is valued by duelists and experienced soldiers alike in the nation of... Okay. It kind of is like that. Although, not quite as versatile as that. So what was it called? Probably uncommon. Combat lure. Training. Training weapon is designed to be used when training an animal to participate in combat by identifying the target for the animal to attack. Certain creature with the training weapon gives your animal companion or your bonded animal a +1 circumstance bonus to attack to its next attack roll against the target. Useful. Oh, or, Ooh, rope dart. Honestly, it might be worth... Sorry, I'm looking here. Actually, what is the rope dart in? Treasure vault. It's still uncommon. So it's the combat lure. Throwing knife is probably the most straightforward. Dagger. And corset knife, which is treasure vault. It's very short. I like, honestly, I think I'd go for the grapnel. Especially since I have grapple stuff. I'm gonna have to add it in manually because, yeah. How does drawing a weapon work? Oops. I have that open. Drawing a weapon is an interact action, right? Actually, let me come down here, playing the game. Actions. Basic actions. Interact. Blah. Grab an unobstructed object, draw a weapon, swap a held item or another for another, open a door, draw. Okay. Now I need to read very carefully this ability down here. You draw an attack with the same motion. You interact to draw a weapon. Then either you strike or use a one-action finisher. Okay, now let me read Tethered. Allows you to retrieve it after it's left your hand. Using this weapon, including it, you can use an interact action to pull the weapon back to your grasp after you have thrown it as a ranged attack or after it has been disarmed. Okay, this is kind of obscure. You use an interact action for Tethered, use an interact action to draw. But drawing is not a specified action. Does that mean you can use the Tethered recovery retrieval as a draw? Because this could make a very interesting thing for brandishing draw. Aid. Basic actions. Similarly, you'll use interact, step, stride, strike, and a great deal. Many feats and other actions call upon you to use one of these basic actions for modify them to produce different effects. For example, more complex actions might let you stride twice, and a large number of activities include a strike. An action or activity might also modify a basic action, such as having you stride up to half your speed. Actions that are used less frequently but still available to most creatures, presented in specialty basic actions starting at page 48, these typically have requirements that are not all characters are likely to meet, such as wielding a shield, having a burrow speed, or failing. In addition to actions in two sections, actions are spellcasting, profound, blah, 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 and the actions using magic items appear delaying ready. If you want to change when you take actions, two basic actions let you do so. Delay shifts your entire turn later in the round. Ready lets you prepare to take one specific action when a trigger you choose is met. Yeah, delay is a free action that you basically just wait. And then ready is 2 actions which you do to do a reaction. Produce action, occur outside your turn. Single action and designate a trigger. When your turn ends, the trigger you designate occurs before the start of your next turn. You can use the chosen action as a reaction. Get ready for reaction that's already hits the trigger. If you have multiple attack penalty and your ready action is an attack action, your ready attack takes the multiple attack penalty you had at the time you used the ready action. This is one of the few times the multiple attack penalty applies when it's not your turn. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Combined actions. Maybe there's something about it in the bestiary. Content warning, just creatures, combo power. You know what? There's one way to do it. Go to the internet and see what people have to say. See if anyone's thought of this. Finishing draw. Finder 2E. Really? You're gonna do this? Kind of a crosswalk there. That's a crosswalk. It's gonna be a thing. Honestly, this is probably one of those things that's up to a GM, which is hard because I'm the GM. But if I do this for another character, I'd have to obviously adjust this if that's end up happening. So that makes Titan Wrestler kind of fun, because it means I can do those. Yeah, actually, that's really worthwhile with the gymnast build. Oh yeah, impressive performance probably is still worthwhile. Stanley Wrestler Athletics. Yeah. Let me look at some of the 4th level ones. You dash past an opponent, finding them on inherent tactics, stride up to half your speed, you can attempt a trip or dirty trick. If you have the action against one opponent, you pass within range at any point during your movement. That's a flourish, meaning it gets rid of panache. And it requires panache. And then it gets rid of it. Man, this is a fun idea for a character. It's a kind of a slightly back striker who can... Like, the idea of being able to Then either strike or use a one-action finisher. Like, the thing about brandishing draw is I can basically attack, step back, throw. And the idea of being able to like, there's interesting combos you can do there, depending on stuff. But I can also grapple if I do that one. So it's like, it's just options, and I like it. Panache lets you perform incredible feats, climbing, swimming, while you have panache. Gain the following benefits. You can climb and swim speed equal to half your land speed. DCs of your high jumps and long jumps increase by 10. This doesn't combine with other abilities that reduce those DCs. The distance you can move with vertical leap increases to 5 feet. This is kind of fun. Assuming vertical leap increases by 5 feet, your distance for horizontal leap increases by 15 feet, and your speed is at least 15 or to 20 feet if your speed is at least 30. An ally within your melee reach is hit by an attack. You can see the attacker and a +2 circumstance bonus. I'm actually curious about hands. I think switching hands is an interact. Draw a weapon. Run down to stowed object. Achieve a similar effect. There's also manipulate. So it could be manipulate as well to shift hands. Oh wait. Interact is a manipulate action. Yeah, I think switching between one and two hands is an interact action. It's not super important, though. Impaling finisher. Just have two foes with a single thrust or bash them together with one punch. Make a bludgeoning or piercing melee strike and compare the attack results against the AC of up to two foes. One foe must be adjacent to you, and the other foe must be adjacent to and directly behind the first foe. In a straight line from your space. Rolling damage, yeah. I don't think it's like super great just because it's very... Well, there's two attacks with one action, but it's limited. You swoop your foe into your dance, attempt performance check against the adjacent enemy's will DC. Your foe is swept up in your dance. You both move up to 10 feet in the same direction, remaining adjacent to one another. Your movement doesn't trigger reactions from the target, and the target's movement doesn't trigger reactions because it's forced movement. This says, but you both move only 5 feet. This is really good for like positioning purposes, but I'm not making a striker, I'm making a striker, not a. I'd consider this either a defender or a support role, moving people. You swagger readily into any fight. You can plus some bonus to your initiative roll. and you can interact to draw a weapon. If you are the first to act in combat, you gain panache. Flying Blade. You throw a weapon seeming to defy physics. They soar through the air and spin back to you after you strike. Make a thrown melee weapon attack. Ignore the penalty for making range attacks with the second and third attack range increments. Make a thrown weapon. Ignore the penalty for making ranged attacks within the second and third range increments. The weapon returns to your hand after the attack, unless you critically failed on the attack roll. This kind of makes what I was thinking kind of pointless. All the action I was going through to do brandishing draw and flying blade. Interesting. Floating roll is nice. After downing foe, you promise another. They're coming after them next. That requires intimidation, which I'm not trained in. My brain went on a really crazy ADD tangent right there. Finishing follow through. I like the idea of retreating finisher. Tumble behind ain't bad either. Because, well, you can already tumble. The idea of tumble to me is to... Unbalancing finisher is really good, though. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do unbalancing finisher. So, I have a lot of ways to gain bravado. Let me go back and look at what those are. Man, I'm now just finishing the Swashbuckler. Not what I wanted to do today. Oh well. I also should look up here. You can step as a free action immediately after the finisher. It's pretty nice. Fencer, off guard until the next turn. Okay, so you execute a finishing move with Spectacular Flare, adding special effects to your finishers. If a strike you make as a part of a finisher hits a foe, you add one of the following effects to the strike, depending on your Swashbuckler style. If the foe is grabbed, restrained, or prone, you gain a circumstance bonus to the damage roll, equal to double the number of the weapon's damage dice. That's really nice, actually, for what I'm going for as like a striker. If you're wondering where I'm getting the term striker, it's 4E. It's 4E rolls. Actually, it's really just an offense damage dealing specialist. And reposition, so grappling I get. Shove and trip also makes sense. Trip just makes them prone, shove moves them back. Reposition though, then grappler has extra stuff. I should look into grapple actually. Is that under here? No, it's probably under athletics. You attempt to grab a creature or object with your hand. Attempt an athletics check against the target's fortitude DC. You can grapple a target you already have grabbed, or restrained without having a hand free. You have grabbed or restrained without. Target is restrained until the end of your next turn, unless you move or your target escapes. Target is grabbed until the end of your next turn, unless you move or your target escapes. You fail to grab your target if you already had the target grabbed or restrained using the grapple conditions. I think I'm still gonna do. Where's the treasurer? Here. I still think not the training one. There's the rope dart, which is finesse. That's the one I was thinking of. There's one that had the grapple trait as well. Oh, it's the PFS guide. So it's a Lost Omens book, so that means it's a setting book. Got it. It is uncommon though, right? Yeah. I'd rather not go for that, honestly. So I'll probably do the rope dart. Combat lure could be fun. I like the idea of the grapnel though. Just got a 20-foot throne. It's uncommon though. Access. Member of the Pathfinder Society on mission. Arcadian Mariner's Lodge. Huh. More uncommon things need like an access? I guess as long as it has trip, it's good. Well, it has sweep, which I think allows you to trip. No sweep too. Are these only new ones? Yeah, these are only new ones. So I have to come over here for sweep. Oh no, sweep is the one where you can attack multiple targets. It's not bad. I mean, I really don't need to go for the whole throne thing. So instead I could just go for something with grapple and finesse. Not a lot, actually. Combat grapnel is basically the only thing. I don't know what Ancestry Guide is. Although, it's probably a book I should get. Just for some more Ancestry ideas. Oh well. It's also a level 1 item rather than a level 0. Okay, so nothing with grapple and finesse. How about grapple and agility? Or agile. Fangwire, which is a kobold brawling one. That means... Oh no, it's martial though, so meaning I can get it. It's just uncommon. Finesse, grapple... Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, it's basically a garrote. It's also not... doesn't do a lot of damage. Okay, so grapple's not an option. How about trip, then? Finesse and trip. A lot more of this. Spike chain, which I was already looking into, actually. Oh yeah, that's the one I already have. Yep. So I might just do this one. I can already do reach, so that's no problem. Yeah, the whip as well. It's one-handed. Yeah, I might as well go for the spike chain. Cool. That allows me to trip, meaning I can tickle people on the ground. What else does it have? Some characters try to give access to uncommon options. Now, access for anyone. This is known about uncommon cultures than common creatures. They typically can't be summoned. The DC of recall knowledge checks related to these creatures increased by 2. Yeah, I know about that. Cool. So unbalancing finisher, though, is good. Basically off guard. So that's a good way to just decrease someone's defenses to make them easier to hit. Which might be good to go for something to, like, put yourself out on a limb a little bit. Flashy dodge is nice because it's a way to get panache as a reaction, potentially. Floating roll is just a nice effect, especially if you have terrain combat. To be fair, if I do use this in a Tantus game, plummeting roll will never come into effect because Tantus doesn't ever do anything with heights. Granted, I just feel like not a lot of map makers actually do a lot with heights. Charmed Life is nice. Don't want antagonize. Of course, I need a first level feat. Flying Blade is just nice. If I did want to do, like, it's just nice to have a ranged option. So the ability to do but I'll do Flashy Dodge. I haven't taken long enough. I need a level 4. Swaggering initiative is good. Flash confident smile. Gain panache until the end of your turn. Even the odds goes great with Tumble Behind. Honestly, it's you get into danger, but then you benefit from it. Honestly, Flamboyant Athlete is good. Good. Ally within your melee reach is hit by an attack. You can see the attacker. You gain +2 circumstance. And +2 circumstance to AC would turn the critical hit to a hit or a hit into a miss. You're wielding a single one-handed melee weapon and have your other hand free. Nope, not with this. I might take a second lower level feat. Something like After You is a good idea. Finishing follow-through is nice. But since I don't have Your Next, it feels kind of like a waste. I could get After You, but then I kind of feel like I would also want Swaggering Initiative. Oh no, those are actually opposites. You know, bonus your initiative and can interact to draw a weapon. Yeah, let's do Swaggering Initiative. Cool. Character done, finally. And those are both reduced. Spike chain is... Or traits. Oh, here we are. Disarm, finesse, trip. That means I want to add the trip and finesse options. So they don't have actions. So trip is a trait. Do they not have like a rules thing? I thought they had rules. Rules. Oh, here we are. We have one for... Let's go. Athletics. Maybe that'll pop up. Yeah, I mean, I can at least get this now, this way. Which will be easier. Grapple. But I want trip first. Actions, one action. Trait. Attack. Requirements. Description. Okay, trip done. Still gonna have perform around, but it's technically A. Not really great. And I think did have disarm, so I might as well do it. Ah. You know what? Yeah, 1 second, I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's gonna be easier. There we go. Doing that in a text editor was easier than... Where did that go there? Anyway. Should probably also add grapple. And, oh, and shove. Good shove. These requirements are not true. And the last one was grapple. You can also reposition. You have at least one in free, or you're grabbing or restraining the target. The target can be more than one size. Can't be more than one size larger than you. You move the creature or object around. Attempt an athletics check. Move the creature up to 10 feet. You must remain within your reach during this movement. You can't move it into or through objects. You move the target up to 5 feet. Into or through obstacles. Position. Wait, disarm is an attack, isn't it? Yeah, I should add that. I think I forgot that. I think shove is as well. Definitely did on trip. Shove probably is as well. Yep. Trigger requirements for reposition. You're grabbing or restraining the target. The target can't keep more than one size larger than you. You got things like long jump, high jump. Okay. Things done. I think that's good for now. Things like force open, you can do it your own time. Like high jump and long jump are, if you end up doing them a lot, you can add them as actions, but like, why if you're not? But my character is all about doing some of those actions, so I figure I might as well hide them. Or this character. What time is it? I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I should finish. I'll probably do this setup before the next stream. Ideally, I will try, at least. So, hopefully next time I'll be able to run. But for now, oh well. Thank you all very much for watching. If you liked, you can follow. If you really liked, you can subscribe. If you need more convincing, you can check out my YouTube channel, where I have VODs. If you're on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. And if you want to catch me next time, for those of you on YouTube, it will probably be Tuesday. For those of you watching the stream, it'll be Monday, 7:30 p.m. So until either of those times, bye-bye.